Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Naija. And we got another episode for you today. I am Nikia. We got
Felicia.
And Naija Day.
Corey.
Yay! We're back together. We're all together with another hot episode. And this one is hot for real, y'all. This one is hot for real. All I want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom.
Just shake your rock.
Hey.
What was that song you were talking about, Tori?
As we lay, we forgot about tomorrow.
As we lay. So we're gonna talk about the sex.
Talk about the sex.
Birthday sex. Birthday sex. I know you wanna run. Okay, anyway. Calm down, nigga. It's been a while.
I'll just about to get on that thing. Yeah, you know.
But we're talking about sex, and not necessarily in an explicit sort of way. We'll have that for a different episode. But just about, how it is in a relationship. Is it important? Is it a necessity? How soon? How not at all? Can you withhold it? Is it okay to withhold it? How do you keep it spicy in the bedroom? Felicia, they making that face, girl. What you got to say?
So, I don't know if you guys follow or have heard of Auntie Tab, right? And she came on and she did a little clip on Perry. So Perry has touched me, She just, like she said, she didn't call, she didn't write.
Who is
she didn't
Perry?
send a
Oh,
Perry?
Who is that? For the people that may not know.
Lord, that heifer there. We talking about Miss Perry of the menopause, okay? And she affects lots of things, including the sex, as Nick has said. Sometimes, like, you think about it, but it's like, unless you're gonna have somebody who is initiating, because it gets to a point where that's the last thing on you. And don't get it twisted, y'all. Your girl is freaky, okay? She hush now. Nika has seen some things that I'm sure she has wished she hasn't seen.
Put a girl on, put some friends on.
Who the hell?
We don't have that before.
No.
I learned not to be scrolling through people's phones. Look at the picture that they showed you. Okay,
real quick.
Do not scroll.
Scroll left or
Do
right.
not scroll.
Look at what I hand you, especially if it's my phone, because you don't know what's going to be on either side of the picture that I showed you. Okay, you just don't know. But Perry has interrupted that a little bit, and I kind of resent this heifer. Anyways. And she make you hot. You don't want the other person touching you too much.
What about you today? How important is it? Is it something that, well, you don't get too personal, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm a Scorpio. I do got limits. No, he lied. But I think it's important. But again, life happens at times. I don't feel that is the end all be all, but it's definitely a way to express your love and affection for your partner. So yeah, I think it's important, but I don't feel like it's going to come before anything else. Like if I'm hungry, I want to eat first. Okay? I don't think you're going to come in and do a little
where the food at?
Magic Mike. And I would be like, oh yeah. I'm gonna be like, yeah, let me eat first. Gotcha. Yeah.
What about you, Tori?
No, it's important for me. But to EJ's point, it's not the end all be all, but it's definitely in top 5, top 3 of things that are important for me in a relationship. It's not one, it's like number 3. 1 and 2, there's other stuff, but 3 definitely, because I think on a different episode, we had talked about, love languages, and physical touch is definitely my top love language. And so it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm about to throw some people across the room. Like, that's
not you being Wonder Woman.
Sebastian.
Hey, lay down.
You don't have to be gentle. I'm tough. Like it's very, very much like if we finna have fun. I'm flexible. I'm creative. And I enjoy get. Sorry, my cat about to top over my light. So he's like aggressive too. So my cats are aggressive too. But yeah, just it's important for me, and I know that again, over time, that may decline with age and circumstances, and life happens, and sometimes you're not in the mood, and there's much other important things, but it's still important. At least,
Yeah, I agree. It's important. To your point, although my top love language is not physical touch, I hope my daddy don't listen to this one. Listen, I like it and I like to have it a lot. Okay. So if in a relationship, yeah, it needs to be happening. If we're arguing, we need to figure it out today because I'm gonna need it tonight. So it's very important. Because when it's good, is good and I enjoy it. And to your point, each day, it definitely is, a way of expressing your affection, your love for someone. I can say full transparency, definitely there when I think back to, I'm just gonna call them encounters. There are definitely some that make me want to throw up because I'm like, I should have never gave that person that because A, they didn't deserve it, or it even wasn't that great, or like I didn't even take the time to fully know them and things like that. So when it comes to that part of it, there are definitely, I don't want to call them regrets necessarily, but it's just like I cringe at myself a little bit like, oh girl, something was wrong with your brain because you shouldn't have he wasn't the one. Especially I don't want to tell the story because I don't want to put all my business out there, but in more recent times, I definitely was like hitting myself on the head, like you stupid, like girl. Because
on the flip end of that, I have ended / refused to move forward with people because uh, it wasn't up to par with what I was looking for. It you know there's something there's certain minimums that I feel like certain techniques, certain there's a foundation of things I feel like personally that you kind of have to have ready to go in your arsenal. Not that you got to be, you don't know me, you don't know my kinks, you don't know the things that I like on the side, and I don't expect you to know that, but come to the table and at least with your forks and knives ready to go and chops.
The basics.
Like, come with the basics, please. Like I don't have time, and nor do I want to at this age of 36 to be teaching the basics. And I've had encounters that just hit no marks, and I was like, and even though we talked to 4 a.m, no thank you.
I'm talking like more in the aspect of the person didn't deserve it more so than the act itself because it wasn't bad. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was quite good.
Just you shouldn't have gave it to
that was not the person to be giving it to.
Person.
But to your point, Tori, when it does come to those basics and how do you communicate that with your partner? Let's say they are bad at, the right stroke game or whatever it is, and you need to communicate with that with them because it's not, let's just assume it's not horrible. It's just they need some, and with men, what I've learned, not all men, again, obviously we always got to say that, but a lot of their ego, I would say about 80% of their ego lies in their, that phallus that is hanging between their legs. So it can be, well, it doesn't have to be, but it can be maybe a little, I don't want to say difficult, but a little like, I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I still need to let him know like you need to tighten up. So how do you communicate that with your partner? Felicia, in your case, obviously it's different. It's
I haven't had that issue. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Praise God.
All right, I guess it's
yes. Haven't had that issue. So I don't have an answer to your question.
She's like, next.
Right.
What else you got for me? That's what Felicia said. What else you got for me?
So what about you usually?
I think that I think there's like just looking in past relationships, I think partly it's good when it's at the beginning to offer that kind of guidance because you can just talk it up to, hey, we're getting to know each other. You can't kiss me how you kiss your ex-girlfriend because I may not like what she likes. Now that's when you open up conversation. What do you like? What do you don't like? And if he did something that you didn't like, that's when you can throw that in there without feeling like you're dragging him per se. And I found that was a way that I would do that is, well, let's talk about things you like, what you don't like. Because for me, I was a virgin for quite some time. Till I was in college. So for me, kissing was all I had. Kissing was my sex per se. So if you couldn't kiss, that was a huge turnoff. So if you slobbing all up on the top of my lip, I'm sorry. I know people kiss with their eyes closed, but you need to understand that all this, if I'm doing all of this,
I
that's
shouldn't be doing like this, smelling your saliva.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to kiss on top of my mouth. Okay. So it's certain things that you have to tell some people, like, hey, like these are the things that I like. Sometimes you have to teach them. And if some people just think that they know it all, that's when you get what Tori said. You don't see me no more. Because now you don't want to listen. And that doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to be a mutual gratification. And if you're the only one that's busting nuts, sir, I'm not no mathematician, but 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Like, be kind with your feedback, but there's ways that you can have that conversation. If you guys are open to learning what satisfies both partners, then you can get somewhere.
But you have to be teachable. I would say like teachable moments for sure. And a tolerance for what you're willing to teach. Like, obviously, like, to your point, if someone's slobbing on my top lip, that's a hard, okay, teachable moment. But if I realize that it's not a teachable moment, you just don't have any foundation whatsoever, like, do you have the time for that? Or is there a limit to what you're going to teach? Because that's time. And and I think that kind of lends to the question of how important is it? Because you have people out there with lower, sex drive sex might not be that important to them, or like, the aces, the asexual clubs, that's not important to them at all.
I could never
personally, but again, aces are out there. Aces hot, cool. Like and that works for them. Like, but for me, that don't work. And also I am not interested in spending an exorbitant amount of time trying to teach you the basics, which now means I'm wasting months, weeks, whatever, waiting on my O factor outside of my toys. And that's going to affect, for me, that's going to affect, that's going to affect then how I'm connecting with you. If that's something that, if sex is a part of, getting that dating factor, because sometimes for some people it's not, but for me it is. And it's kind of like, I need to know if this shoe fit. Can we, not that we got to know everything, but is it workable? Can we,
do you like whips and chains?
Right. You like whips and chains, like straps? Do you like right? Are you okay? And are you strong enough to hold
do you like to be tied down?
I need to come see what's in Felicia's drawer.
Oh, I got a drawer, baby. I got a drawer bag.
No, I'm telling you now. You don't want to go, okay?
I do.
You gotta be strong.
Yeah.
That's a big
I look at my headboard sometimes wondering, I wonder if I could drill like loops to put my straps on. Yeah.
I gave up on headboards.
I was thinking about that little handlebars, if you could put like a little handlebar,
No, I need restraint. I need you not to be able to move.
Oh, so you like a dom. Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I will say,
it surprised me a lot.
Known her a very long time, and I learn new things all the time.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God. She felt mortified.
Completely mortified. At the same time, like, okay, girl, okay. No, I'm just but I always talk about age, but men when it comes and women when it comes to sexual energy and stuff, we're on opposite streaks. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm getting older, although Perry is kind of messing it up at the moment, but when she be acting right and when she decide to go take a little vacation, I'll be like, hey, look, I need it, which in this time of drought, no dating and everything, it's a little difficult, I ain't gonna lie. But men that are like 40 and up, they're usually on the decline. So I'm a multiple rounds type of a person. So it's difficult because you need a full 24 to 48 hours to rest, and I need you to be ready within the next 10 minutes. So age, does play a factor as well. So I do have to think about that. Like, okay, so if you're gonna start dating, I'm the young guy thing. I can't do that.
I was gonna say you might have to be a cougar.
I definitely not 20s or 30s. I might be able to
Yeah.
work, 34, 35, I might be able to work with that. But younger than that, no, that's weird to me. So yeah, working with that particular age group, I do have to take that into consideration because I know that's something that it's not my top love language necessarily, but it's important to me and I need you to be able to keep up, sir.
Right. Question for all of y'all, because I am the type of person that I do have a very healthy appetite. And I like have talks with my husband sometimes, and I'm like, I want to be one of those old people that still get it in. I don't see myself as an old person that's just like not ever doing that, because I do see some couples that you don't even see any amount of affection when they get older. And I'm like, nah, I want to still feel that spark. And if my body is able to, we are going to. I hope you on board. But how do you guys feel about that? When you get older and you're with your partner, do you feel that it will still be something that you will hold near, dear, and important? Because I feel that I do.
Yeah. I would. My family for me is definitely goals and inspiration. I see my grandparents 80 and they're still like, go outside, don't come back in. Like, my parents moved to the middle of nowhere for a reason with each other. Like it's definitely like it small story. I don't know if I'm telling on myself. No, I'm telling on myself, but it don't really matter. So I've gone to, the swingers club, and I'm sure most of us have at least, or hopefully, if you haven't, it's a fun time. There's swingers clubs out there. There's, couples intimacy clubs, things like that. Just grown adults out there, having a good time. That was one of my first time that I went to visit. And I remember being so like nervous, but so I played the part of, voyeur. I just watched. So I just, room to room watching. And what captivated me and almost inspired me the most was this they weren't old. It was this geriatric couple. Minimum 85 at minimum. And I think I'm off, like minimum 85 couple that comes in. Woman is still, and she comes in like these fish nets, this leopard mini skirt, just leathered out, and her partner that was with her was equally as geriatric, and homeboy had on a leather speedo and a dog collar, and she said woof woof, and I was like,
okay. Yeah, that he was still barking though.
He was still barking. He said, like, and they
the Blue's Clues bark.
They looked at me. They were like, you want to go have some fun? You want to join us? I said respectfully, no, but y'all better get it. Like, and she said, okay. And they twitched. She had on her platform heels. They twitched right on out, and it was just like, I want that. Like, not necessarily, well, maybe who knows, as we get older, tastes may change, and you want to try new things as you start checking off stuff off your list, and maybe who knows, maybe I'll get to a point where it's like, heal. Like maybe that'll be where I'll get to.
I can't wait to get old. I can't wait to get old because they don't give a fuck.
Old and nasty.
And I realized like I definitely want it when I'm older, especially, my youngest is 10 and, I have 2 children. My youngest is 10. So 7 more years, he started figuring out his life and going. And I want that person that let's go outside, let's go outside, let's go down to the park. to
Be
the beach,
adventurous.
get it in. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time all around the world. You know,
It was so inspiring. Like it wasn't some people like, "Ugh." I was like, no, I'm inspired because at that age, when I maybe got good enough, like another 5-10 years left, I mean, maybe 5 or less left. You mean that this I could be doing okay? Like let me go out in style and the flair. Like let her like, oh, here we go. Like it was so inspiring. Like
Alicia over there, what you thinking? You still
I
gonna
know.
be somebody else? I saw her looking up in the air like you
Yeah,
still
because
gonna
in
be
your
cuffing
case,
somebody
with
up?
women, you're on the same, as far as sexual energy, you're on the same track. We're talking about
Yeah.
opposite, but
To you yesterday, I was looking over because my girlfriend just walked in. The conversation was happening. Like, how much longer we go on
Yeah.
this episode?
what did you say? What did
um, but yeah, it can be the same, but it's the same thing, like life. But when it happens, that
it goes down. Okay, in the DMs. Yeah,
Oh,
I definitely
Jesus.
want to be that old couple, and my grandchildren will be like, "Y'all, can y'all stop, please? Stop.
Can you get out my house?
Exactly. Like,
Can y'all get a
stop
room?
kissing."
I know my
Right.
summers was go outside and do not come back in this house until I tell you can come
That's
back.
what you were told?
Mhm.
Oh
Do
my.
not come back in this house. And that was always when my granddad was home. It was like, all right, go outside. And I was like, but it's hot. She's like, I didn't say that. Go outside. Don't come back in this house.
She didn't care nothing about that heat.
I remember one
She said the
time.
holes outside, the water holes outside.
Right, the water hose outside.
Right.
There's some mangoes in them trees.
You know, you got me thinking. I remember when my mom used to drop me off at my cousin's house. It was 4 cousins and their mom, which is also my first cousin. We used to stay outside a lot. Now
Mhm.
you got me thinking, like, why was we outside all the time? Was she?
I remember one time I found a picture of my grandmother because I love pictures and she always took pictures. There was always pictures around. So, I'm scrolling through the photo album. I'm looking, it's like, Grandma, what is this? And she was in a see-through negligee on her little couch thing. What do you call it, Chase?
Yeah.
She had in her room and she was, and my grandma, if you saw how she was built, like bam, 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 like it out. It was there. And it was a little devastating, but at the same time, of course, I had to go ask her, like, Grandma, what are you like? Girl, don't worry, that's my business. Like, wow. So even at this
Wow.
age, okay. All right, Grandma.
Just that generation was nasty.
I thought it was nasty at the time, but now I think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to be, my little
Had about 8,
negligee.
9 children.
Right, I want to be.
Yeah. That's why they had so many. And
Now.
grandma would get it with the moo too.
The moo kept them in the house. Bills paid. Girl, the
Right.
moo
Easy access.
right. They moved just right too. No problem.
Might
Just
have to invest in me a nice moo.
right.
I don't have enough in the back for a good moo, but it's okay. That's all right. I didn't get I got part of it, but I didn't get the shelf on the back, for my grandma. I get everything else except for that. But it's okay though. It's okay. I haven't had any problems. So
Right? Exactly.
Nobody's complaining.
Never been
We
an
ain't
issue.
got in the back like that, but what that one girl say? But my personality is thick.
Yeah, listen, they drive across states, okay? They drive
I know
across
that's
the country.
right. I know
Okay?
that's right.
And show up at my door. Okay. So I ain't never had no problem. Please.
Okay.
Please. I know you was mad, but please.
Oh, Lord.
A year and a half later at that. We been broke up. Anyway, so I know it's
With
good.
their kids, I make pretty babies.
Lord.
Yes,
But
Jesus.
yeah, sex is definitely, at least in my opinion, it's important. It's a necessity for me. It's not, something I'd be like, oh no, I'm mad, so I'm going to withhold it. That I know some women do that. It is definitely not my thing. Like, as a matter of fact, it helps me to not be mad anymore.
Right.
So
Wait. But question: can you do it? And you guys have just had an argument, and is that a way for really?
yes. Yes.
I don't want you to touch me. If I'm mad at you, no, I need to cool off.
It depends on what I'm mad about.
Right. Depends on what
There's
you mad about.
levels.
There's
Okay.
levels, and also it's like it's either a way it's gonna be real angry and real aggressive, or you can use it as an apology, or you can use it as a we just gonna agree to disagree, or
Okay. Okay.
Show me how sorry you really are.
right. Show me
Hey.
I need you to tell me again.
Over and over.
Get on your knees and tell me. Okay?
I'm sorry, that's not the apology I'm looking for.
You didn't mean that. You didn't mean it.
Okay.
Again,
Make it mean it.
take the
I
cat out the room.
I definitely don't believe in withholding, though. I don't think that withholding is ever a healthy way to go about a relationship, because some people withhold to the point that, not that it's right, but some partners then say, well, if I'm not going to get it here, I'm going to get it from somewhere else. And that's not a reason why you should also give in. But I think it's possible to just say, okay, there's an issue between us. We need to work it out. We need to communicate properly. But at the end of the day, there are times that you may be in with your partner. You may not necessarily always be in the mood. That doesn't mean that you'd be like, well, no, because I'm not feeling it. Because eventually, even if it starts off that way, you always you get to going. You be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't that sleepy. You know what?
There it is.
I'm awake now. So it happens. But I think withholding was just not the way to go.
And I think for me, if I felt like I wanted to withhold it, I already know the relationship is over, because I do enjoy it and I do like it whether I'm mad or not. So if I feel like, no, I don't want to with you, like, yeah, that's for me, that's the end.
Yeah. Because you've already left mentally and emotionally at that
I've
point.
already left. Yeah. Yeah, but all right, y'all. So we gonna do another episode about the sex that might be a little bit more detailed, with our comfortability level, obviously. But that'll be another episode. We gotta talk about it first.
Alicia. It's gonna be a show and tell, y'all.
Do I need to bring my bag out and
Yes,
just
it's gonna be a show and tell.
Tori's like, yes, please.
Everybody bring the bag.
Do my
Now,
notepad.
this is the whip.
You'll have a PowerPoint presentation ready.
Yeah. And this is the flogger.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're gonna put our social media, of course, on here, our YouTube. So make sure you like. Okay, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, because we definitely are increasing, we're growing, we're getting more followers and things like that. So we also need y'all to pull up the YouTube link. You won't regret it. You will enjoy our episode, and let us know what you think. We like the feedback because it also helps us with other topics and to get some feedback on how we doing and what y'all be thinking out there, not just us and our little Naija knows world.
Yes.
But we be knowing
that we do.
All right, y'all. Any last words, last comments? I always say that like I'm at church. Like, I can tell I'm a preacher daughter. Always... the doors of the church are open. Come to the front. Oh, Tori got the piano, got the organ ready. Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus.
Now you've been hurting.
One more, keep it going, Pastor. Take your time.
All right, y'all. So that's all we got for you. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.